Hello everyone, this is FallenDice and welcome to episode 22 of Burpcraft Feed the Beast with FallenDice. We have done a bit of changes between our last episode and this one. I remember I had said I was going to do a little bit more building, just because the buildings here take a lot of time. And at this point, there's not a lot new to the building process, putting in the walls and lighting it up and everything like that. And when I get to some of these stuff out here, I may do some episodes with some of these structures here because they'll be a little different. But for these ones, these were just smaller versions of the pyramids. So I kind of did those off camera so we could kind of expedite to getting into more of our building type stuff. So it looks, like I said, looks similar to our original pyramid. I don't have anything really connected up top on these yet. It's more for decorative because these are kind of going to be like large, I wouldn't say warehouses, because our first project we're going to do is actually going to be trees. I've had to use a lot of the spawn lumber, because they do have some tree farms going there, but I can't continue to do that. I've also been filling up our fluids in here. So we've got the redstone, liquid redstone, liquid redstone, I guess, and the molten redstone, molten ender. This is our creosote oil, completely filled up now. And then over on this side, I decided to pump down our DNA because I'd sent a couple million millibuckets to spawn, but I figured I might as well kind of complete this room down here. This is just water for use in whatever, and we've already almost got this filled up with more honey as well. So the room down here kind of looks, it's looking cool. Haven't done anything different in this. Oh yes, I have. That's obviously different. Yeah, we upgraded on power out because I just wasn't putting enough power, and since I set these all up separately, I figured I would increase the amount of power each one of these banks was producing. So we're definitely putting out a lot of power right now, and these shouldn't be doing as much anymore. I think they're pretty much hopefully just kind of filling up because I turned off the mass fabricator. I don't really have a need for any more UU. I've already got 16,000 of it, and we can only make very little, just because that's kind of one of the things that was disabled on the Burpcraft server. So as far as with UU matter, only things that we can make are grass blocks, lava, water, clay, iridium, and the void field generator for the I forget what we even called that. It was kind of like the original Burpmod barrel kind of thing. So it was stored infinite amounts of items in an alternate alternate area before we got Mystcraft and all this other kind of stuff. Things over here are good. What I have done though is, in anticipation of what I'm going to be doing here, I've been adding in my second floor of my lava bees. And lucky for me, the quarries that I've been running gave me an almost, I won't say infinite stock, but I mean, I've got 344 Rocky Princesses and another 12. I'm not sure what the difference between the two, but technically I have over 350 more princesses to basically do what I want. So when I come to these, I just basically stick it in. Oh, that's right, I haven't turned on these. I stick in one Rocky Princess with 16 of the drones, kind of like we've done before. I think. Yep, starting here. I hadn't turned on the gates because I didn't have the ability yet. Until you actually connect these with a Alviary, it doesn't give you the missing queen or princess state to look for. So there we go. I'll just do those real fast. But like I said, I've almost got this completely filled up, but not quite. And there's a few more on this floor that I need to do, but I've also still have plans for all of the up here. We're going to be putting in a bunch more Alviaries up here on this wall, that wall, and that wall. And this is going to be for all my bees that are going to produce the different things like, you know, your lapis bee or your emerald bee or your, you know, your platinum bee, all these things. I want to have each one of these have like a its own alviary, and we might even, for these ones, since it's only going to be one alviary each, we'll probably set up some kind of frame thing with these to stick in. In addition, I definitely want at least 1 or 2 alviaries to be for breeding purposes. So for the mutation, so they'll have the mutation, the block in there. Let me see. I haven't actually worked with this yet, but I know I can. And let's see, alviary. We've got somewhere in here. Well, I'm not sure which one it is right now, but I know that it allows you to put in things like uranium or something, and it increases the chance for the bees to produce a mutation. So when I'm researching my my new bee species, then I'll use that to have myself a better chance of things turning out the way I want to. So that's what I've done so far, and that kind of catches us up. So now what we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be coming over to here. And this was the first of the pyramids I completed, and I'll give you an idea of what it looks like on the inside. So, you know, here's our normal courtyard, and the entrance into here is right here. It had to be a little bit closer than I wanted to for the stairway to meet up the way it's supposed to. And initially I didn't like how it looked, but I think once I got it all completed, it actually kind of fits rather well. And then you come through here, and this takes us right inside into our interior. And here's where we're going to be working today. So up here, this is just kind of decorative. You know, this is the tree farm, so we might as well have, you know, trees going around the top just to kind of add a little to the look of it. I've put in a few of our decorative sandstone blocks to kind of, you know, touch up the looks of things. I got these 2 to come up here. Just, you know, again, it was to make it more than just a giant empty room, because I think that's one of the things that I think doesn't happen a lot when people are building things in Minecraft. The outside, people put a lot of time into the outside, but a lot of times I think the inside is just as important as the outside, just to, you know, give it a you know, a cool look, you know, so when you're in, you know, when you're looking around even from the inside, it just has style. This will be our access to get down to the back area here, which right now I just have a hole in the wall here as well, and then to come down, because here's where we're going to be placing all of our multi-blocks parts for the farms. One of the cool things about the way the multi-farms work now with Forestry 2 is we can have the top of the multi-block structure for the farm at the exact same height as the actual dirt being placed. So this is like the center of each one of our expected farms, and then out to here is where all the bricks are going to go that the grass will go on, just kind of down one. So I use this as a way to kind of design out the room. So as you can see, we're going to have 5 farms in here, and each one of these will be having a different species of our standard wood. I'm not going to go with like the crazy woods. Not that I don't want them, but this is more for building stuff. You know, mass uses, you know, having to, you know, tons of wood for my scented panelings or what, you know, different things. So I figure, you know, oak, pine, birch, what do we got? Jungle. Is there one other regular one? Maybe not. I may have to pick one other one, but, you know, like I said, we'll have, or maybe I'll have the 4 on the outside, and then we can kind of eat one in the middle just for different types of trees or whatnot. We'll see it as we go, kind of like a normal FallenDice episode. Beginning of what we think it's going to look like, and then in the end it looks like something else. Although having done all this stuff ahead of time, it shouldn't be quite that bad. I hate how single blocks can just kind of... I hate that. But, oh well. I can't wait till they fix all the lighting glitches and bugs. It just that annoys me. That one single block there, it doesn't match with the rest of it, and now it does. Not fixed. Alright, so let's go back over here, and we're going to get some items together so we can start on the construction of our the blocks that'll make up our multi-block farm, and then we'll kind of go over their recipes and their design. We got to do some work of routing some cabling and power and things like that, but we'll get that together, and I'll be right back. Alright, so our recipes are in, so we can start to craft everything now. The first thing we have to craft is going to be our farm block, and it's just our basic farm block. And wow, I was trying to find just the basic one. There we go. And it looks different depending on the block you make it out of. You can pretty much make it out of any of the bricks. So we got the stone bricks, mossy stone, cracked stone. So you can kind of make it match the look of where you are. So come to think of it, it might not be a bad idea to go back and redo my recipes with sandstone. Huh. I probably am going to do that. That's actually a really good idea. I like that. I got chiseled or smooth. But the tops of those look the same, so it won't really make a difference. But anyway, how we make it. So our basic farm block is made using 2 copper, 2 wooden slabs, your choice of your type of stone brick, and our tin electron tube. The tin electron tube is made in our thermatic fabricator using tin and redstone. And that's going to give us our basic farm block. And like I said, this is the block that we start off with. All of our other blocks are actually going to be made using this block. So our next one that we want to talk about is the farm valve block. And right here. So the farm valve block is made again using the farm block, glass, and this time a tin gear. Tin gear can be made with simply tin around an iron ingot or tin around a stone gear, depending on how you want to do it. Either way works. And what the valve for is for putting water into our farm. When this thing starts running, especially since we're underground and there's no rainfall allowed inside our cavern here, all the water is going to have to be done manually or, well, automatically through mechanical means, but it's going to have to be done by us. So we need the farm valve so we can hydrate all of our trees in there and continue to increase our lumber. The next thing we want to talk about is going to be the farm gearbox. And do we have... There we go. And that is simply made with the farm block and 3 tin gears. And this is just where we're going to input our MJs, our Minecraft Jewels or Michael Jacksons or whatever you want to call them. But we have to hook up our redstone energy cells into this block here, and that's what's going to power our farms. And then the last one we're going to be working with, probably, I may go with one other one, I'll explain that one here, but this is going to be our farm hatch. And the purpose of this is input and output. And lucky for us, it's a very smart system, so it only uses 1 input and 1 output for everything. So by we hook up our ME system to this, we're going to be able to send in everything from fertilizer to our saplings to dirt, anything we need in a farm we can send in through here, and then output again from one of these all the items that we're going to be producing. So that's going to be kind of cool. We won't have to worry about what side of the block or whatever we're doing. It makes it nice and easy. And then there is one other block, and we will talk about that here, and that is our control block. And that, actually, the rest of the time is going to use a golden electron tube, which, similar to the tin, is just gold ingots instead of tin ingots. But our farm control block is going to allow us to shut off parts of or the entire multi-block farm structure. So we can have it set up here that we want to keep a certain number of trees in our system. So, and kind of like with some of our other stuff we've done before, we'll have a level emitter, and once we've achieved the number of wood in our system that we want, it'll emit a signal over here, which will basically turn off the entire multi-block, and it'll stop producing lumber until we need it again. That way we're not just building up an infinite amount of wood, but in addition it's also less stuff going on, because if you can see here, I'm getting about 30 frames right now, but our system already is starting to have a taxing on our area here. And that's 30 while I'm recording, which isn't bad. So that's still, still good frames and everything, but I've had to kind of tone down the view distance because I was at far plus 96 blocks or something, so I can see the entire cavern down here. And which is cool sometimes, but that was dropping me down to 20 frames while I wasn't recording, so I had to kind of throttle that back a little bit. But, as I said, right now everything's already in the system. So we could go in here and start this, but I'm going to bring all these back, and I am going to change these into sandstone. That way, or I can copy them and make a sandstone version. So I think that would be kind of cool, since we're in a sandstone structure, to have it kind of match that up and then the dirt going around. So let me do that really fast here, and then I will be back. We'll have our system make us craft some of these items, and then we'll get to work on this. Alright, we are ready to continue on. Doesn't look like much has changed, but if we go underneath here, you can see that I've now, if I can get in here, I might have to open this up a little bit more. There we go. But I have run my ME cable to the 5 access points, and in addition, this one goes down here, we now have another wireless. So I've now extended my the range of my storage and crafting all the way into this base here now. So let's see, we'll just come up here. But yeah, I can all the way up top, all the corners. Perfect spot to stick it right there in the center. So we've extended this into at least this part of the building. Somewhere, I betcha. Wow. Okay. My guess is... Nope. I gotta go a little bit further in. My guess is it's inside here where I've got the stairway. Yep. We have darkness. Okay. Alright, I need to light this up so we don't have any more things spawning. But there we go. There's that darn spider. Yeah. I knew I had something somewhere. I think when I was doing the lighting up in the center, I changed some of the blocks over there from the covers to full blocks. This used to be lit up. But, you know, you change things when you can't see the results, and voila, you get noises in the background. Alright, here we go. Now we're good. And we'll go ahead and block this back up again. Alright, so I have changed the recipes. Actually, I don't even need to go back there anymore. I gotta get used to that. I don't have to go to a certain point to craft stuff. Alright. So yes, now we got the farm blocks here, and did a little research. So the size of these are going to be 3 by 3 by 4. So it's going to be 9 blocks and 4. So we need 36 blocks for each one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft 36 to start out with. Alright. And technically part of these are going to be used to create some of our other blocks. Now we are going to take one farm control block. We definitely need one gearbox, one hatch, and I was actually able to check all this stuff, and this is actually going to work this way, and one valve. Alrighty, so we'll take one of each of all these. Now I've run the ME stuff, but I still need to run the power and water. So let's see. I need to go here, here. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to expand our walkway that I've been working on. And the big key, the reason why I don't just clear this entire area is all these torches are actually being used to light the surface, the floor up there. So I'm kind of forced to be a little creative in how I'm making my space to move around down here. Alright, so that'll get me access to those. Let me do this real fast. I'm just going to kind of clear out an area here, so because I need to run liquiducts for my water, and I need to run power, and I want to kind of do it as central as I can. So let me do this real fast, and I will be right back. Alright, well, that's a lot better now. It doesn't seem as big as it seemed when it was, you know, all the tunnels going back and forth. And I haven't done a lot of glowstone usage so far, but my demonic bees gave me stockpiles of it, so that actually works better. I can still maneuver around, so this is gonna work just fine. So let's head back up here, and so we'll do the first one here. I'll do the first one on camera, and then I'll do the rest of those kind of off on my own. But alright, so here we go. This will be the top of our multi-block structure. Again, the majority of these are going to be made using our just regular farm blocks. I will be replacing some of these with the additional blocks once we get to that point, but for now I'm just kind of building it up like this. Alright, let me get underneath there. Alright, so coming into it, we need a power block. So that will be our gearbox. Alright, we need a block that's going to provide our liquid, which is our farm valve. There we go. Farm control to turn everything off. And I believe that has to be at the bottom. That's an interesting leg there. So we'll stick that down here. Whoa! Did not mean to do that. That was interesting. There we go. See, I thought I had some grass that I just destroyed there. Alright, there we go. And then our last one will be our farm hatch. Alright, so first off, energy. So I think we'll stick you right here. Pop you right there. And of course we're going to be feeding into you. Owner, whoops, send only. I think we'll go with, I think right now the only power outputs I'm really using is maybe, I'm going to go with 3. I may have to look back. I may check that later and find out, make sure it's one I'm not using right now. From what I understand, these really don't use a lot of power, so I'm probably going to throttle it down, maybe 5 each. We'll find out. I'm going to put it at 25 max, just that's send 5 out to each one of these. Let's see, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I have to go up there to make this accessible. Okay, as soon as we place these last blocks in, like all of our normal multi-blocks structures, it'll go poof, and the design here will change. Up. Okay, that part didn't change, but down here it did. There we go. Alrighty, so now we can basically just route our power right into here. There we go. So now you're powered, and I can pretty much kind of run you guys like this. And then the same thing over here. And I'll finish running those when I get to that part of our setup. Alrighty. I gotta remember what the different ones are now. Alrighty. The single line through is our control. So you're the one that's going to be requiring this. Go ahead and get our ME level emitter. And if you haven't noticed, I finally found the 32-bit texture for applied energistics. So it allows us to have the cool looks now. All right, here we go. So let's say we're going to make this one. Let's see let's go with wood here. We'll just do oak for now. Alright, So, emit when levels are above limit. So we want this thing to light up and turn on because power in underneath here will shut this whole thing down. So, say we want 1 barrel full. So we'll call it, oops, 4096 is, I think 1 barrel, 64 times 64. I believe so. Pull out the old calculator real fast to make sure. Yep, 40,096. Alright, so good. So once it gets to a full barrel full of our oak, it'll apply power to this, and this will shut this farm down. It'll stop reproducing. So that part's taken care of. Let's see. The one with the circle is, I believe, our farm valve. We can make sure because the one with the dashes on it is our hatch. Okay, yep. Yeah. Alright, so your water. So let's see, we got our other tesseract. And lots of liquid duck. Up lever. I think I have levers in the system. Yep, there we go. Just need one. Could turn this on and we're good to go. Just continue to run this across. We'll have to kind of go up and over at this point. Just to get it over to here. And then again, for the other things, I'll run those separately to get to my other tanks. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, and then the last thing we got to do is right here. And we need an export bus and an import bus. And then after that, all we need is our cables. One there and one to connect you in. And that's it. This thing is hooked up. So now what we do is we come over here. This is our export bus. So this is where we're going to be sending our stuff into the system here. What do we need to send in? We need fertilizer. We need dirt. And we need saplings. Alrighty. So if we look in here right now, it is empty. And like I said before, this thing has a smart inventory. So as soon as we start telling it what to do, it's going to start doing it, including water. So owner only, receive only, water. Water comes through here, and voila, we are filling it up. Now, as I go over to here, first thing we want it to do is we want fertilizer in here. It fills up the fertilizer spot. Nice. Tell it to do stacks, keeps it fully stocked at all times. We need dirt. This is our dirt slot. It only fills the dirt slot. And saplings. Filling up our saplings. That is the cool part about this system. One input valve and it fills all the spots the way it needs to be. This is our output. And anything that ends up coming into here, and again we'll go with full stacks, but as soon as any trees are planted, they're just going to pop out here. Now, unfortunately, are you planning on me already? You are. Ugh. Okay. Did not want you to do that yet. Oops. That's not the level I want you on. But you can see that it's already working. What we want it to do is... well, I can replant our hummus manually, so we're not wasting anything. Now the weird thing is that I put in oak, but we're getting apple oak. Well, I guess that's what they are. That's what the forestry would call it, because they do produce apples when you cut down the branches and whatnot. So, all right. So here's the next part we got to do here. I want the farm actually not to be above this, but to be on this level right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill all this. And we're actually going to plant a row, and it has to be the smooth stone. Because we went with the smooth stone for the design for the blocks, it actually makes us use smooth stone bricks for our what it's going to plant the hummus on, which is cool. Like I said, I went into creative and did a little practicing. We're going to have to play with our lights again a little bit here because, as you can see, some of this is destroying our current lighting scheme. And we've got red dots appearing. Those horrible red dots. Alright, so let's see. We'll go ahead and pick up all this. And I can't use... Well, you know, I thought I couldn't use, but apparently it had no problem planting on the actual regular sandstone bricks. So I guess I can go ahead and use those. Alrighty. Let's see. For now, I'm going to repair this real fast just because I'm not a fan of the X's. Alright, let's see. We'll put one here. And that, I think, should cover all of them. And luckily I've got my Silk Touch drill on, so I didn't actually use up any of my items here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Cool. So now we'll go ahead and take our sandstone, and like I said, we're going to put it at this level. Ooh. Yep, you were going to make an issue, weren't you? Fixable easily. Let me go ahead and fill this in really fast, and then I'll be right back. Alright, just turned her back on. I went ahead and put in the hummus that we had harvested, and she should now be filling in the rest of it. Right now I've got a torch here. I don't know. I might actually replace that maybe with some glowstone. I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't think there's any way... Maybe if this one... I don't know how far to get here. Lighting levels. I prefer not to have any torches above ground, but I may have to torch up each one of the centers of these. We'll see. But as you can see right now, whoa, why are you filling this? That makes no sense to me. Why are you filling that level up? Whoa. I wasn't expecting it to put that in. That's kind of weird. I may have to play around with that and maybe... That is very odd to have it... I wanted to add this in there because it's still missing those little corners there. But I can fix that, I think, if I just place... Yeah, if I remove those blocks underneath it, it can't plant it back on there. And then, whoa. What on earth? How is it planting there if there's no... That's one of the stipulations is it's supposed to have to be able to plant it on a actual block. So, I mean, if I'm... It's doing it over nothing. I guess that's not where I want it to be. Huh. I'm not liking this at all. I don't like how it's doing that. Well, let's see if this prevents it, then I'll be happy. I'll be fine. We'll just have to see if it keeps trying to place that block up there. So right now we're harvesting trees. So far, so good. Okay, so it looks like putting the micro blocks prevents it from planting. So I like the design of how this room was going to look based on these circles here like this. So that was gonna bother me, but it looks like this will work. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the other 5, and then I'll come back and we'll see how much time we got, and then we'll move on to the next stage of this. All right, well, our system is working well. Didn't have a nice supply of jungle saplings, so I'm gonna have to kind of keep an eye on this because it seems to keep picking up the apple oaks. So For like ones over here, I had to manually fill up all the slots to make it so they couldn't end up inside of there. And we're good over there, over here. These two, I tried to make this a rubber tree farm, and initially I let it do its own thing where it planted the humus, whatever, but it wouldn't chop the trees down. I did some research and I saw that they were saying that it basically wouldn't harvest the trees. It would just harvest the resin. Just needed to have the dirt on the bottom instead of the humus. So I, shut it down, put dirt on, hand planted all the trees, and I saw resin spots that just never went away. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but I mean, technically I get so much resin from my bees just from centrifuging, so I don't really need a rubber tree, so I just went with 2 of the oaks for the moment. But like I said, we're chugging right along. I just can't wait till I get enough jungle so I can make it so this is only a juggle farm. But anyway, so it looks like we're at about a half hour here, so instead of starting something else or another project, we're going to go ahead and call this one here. But I think our next project is going to have to do with back inside here. Now that I've got the tree farm going, I can basically make all of the alviaries I need. So I can finish this room in here, and then we can kind of go up here and start setting up how we're going to use this room here for some of our other types of bees, and maybe start getting into some of the other types of alveary blocks so we can get better use of the bees that we're going to be using up here. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.